Welcome back to Future AI, paper review. You know, today we're going deep on a research paper that really caught my eye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about ChatGPT.
Okay.
You know, that AI chatbot that's kind of blowing up everywhere, and how it affects the way students learn,
Interesting.
especially in tech courses.
Yeah, what's interesting about this one is it's not just like theorizing, you know?
Right.
This actually tested ChatGPT in a real classroom.
Yeah. The researchers went to this university in Indonesia, Universidad Muhammadiyah Muara Bungo,
Wow.
worked with actual students. They split them into two groups.
Mm-hmm.
One group got to use ChatGPT as a learning tool, while the others stuck with like traditional methods.
So it's like
Yeah.
kind of a real world experiment, but in a classroom.
Exactly, like a quasi-experimental design. I think
Yeah.
that's what they call it.
Exactly. And that's super valuable because you can't control every single thing in a real setting.
Right.
But it gives us more practical insights into how something like ChatGPT would actually work for teachers and students every day.
So the big question everyone's thinking is, did it actually work?
Right.
Like, did having ChatGPT as a study buddy make a difference?
Well, the results are pretty convincing.
Oh, yeah.
The students who used ChatGPT aced their final test compared to the group who didn't.
Wow.
And we're not just talking about a tiny difference. It was significant, like a huge jump in their understanding.
That's impressive.
It makes you think, what was ChatGPT doing that made such a big impact? Was it like having a 247 personal tutor?
Right, that's what I was thinking. Like, was it always there to help?
Yeah.
And the researchers think that part of ChatGPT's success is because it creates a more personalized learning experience,
Mm-hmm.
which is something traditional classrooms, sometimes struggle with.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone learns differently.
Right.
So having a tool that can adapt to your individual needs could be a total game changer.
Absolutely.
But what does that actually look like? How does ChatGPT personalize learning?
Think of it this way. Some students need a little extra time to get a concept, while others are ready to just fly ahead.
Right.
ChatGPT can adjust to those different paces.
Okay.
It can provide extra explanations or like challenging questions depending on the student.
Interesting.
So it's like a learning companion that can keep up with you, whether you're a slow and steady learner or just like zooming through it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it's not just pacing. ChatGPT also provides immediate feedback, which is so key for learning.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. You're stuck on a math problem or struggling with a concept. You don't have to wait for the next class or for your teacher to be free.
Makes sense.
ChatGPT can give you instant feedback,
Yeah.
guiding you towards the right answer or explaining things in a different way.
That would have been a lifesaver when I was in school.
Yeah.
I remember those hours I spent just banging my head against the wall, trying to figure out certain concepts, just feeling completely lost and frustrated.
Yeah.
To have something like ChatGPT that could give you hints or explain things differently would have been amazing.
Oh, yeah. Could have made a huge difference. And it's not just about learning more effectively, but it also takes away that fear of asking questions.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Like, let's be real, raising your hand in class can be terrifying. What if your question is silly? What if you look dumb in front of everyone?
Oh, I totally get that. I used to be terrified to ask questions in class even when I was completely lost.
Yeah.
I would just sit there pretending to understand, and then I would just fall further and further behind.
Yeah, and with ChatGPT, you can ask all the questions you want without feeling judged. It's like this safe space to learn where mistakes are seen as opportunities to grow, not something to be ashamed of.
That's so important. Feeling comfortable to ask questions and to make mistakes is crucial for learning. And it sounds like ChatGPT really fosters that kind of environment.
Absolutely.
But this is just the beginning, right? I mean, this study focused on tech courses, but the implications for other subjects are huge.
Totally. That's what's so exciting. It opens up so many possibilities for how we might use AI to personalize learning across all kinds of subjects. Like, could this be the future of education?
It's definitely giving us a peek into what's possible.
Yeah.
But before we get carried away with all the potential benefits, we have to address the elephant in the room,
Okay.
the ethical considerations.
Right.
I mean, anytime you introduce a powerful new technology, especially in education, there are bound to be concerns.
Definitely. The researchers behind this study know that they understand that using ChatGPT in education brings up some big questions that we need to address as a society.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential benefits, but let's get into those ethical considerations.
Yeah.
What are some of the things we need to be thinking about as we explore AI's role in education?
Yeah, one of the biggest concerns is making sure everyone has equal access.
Right.
Imagine a future where these AI tutors like ChatGPT are everywhere.
Yeah.
If not everyone can get to this technology, it could widen the gap between students who have resources and those who don't.
That's a really good point. It's like with any new technology, we need to make sure it's not just benefiting a select few, but it's truly accessible to all students, regardless of their background or socioeconomic status.
Exactly.
Another thing we need to think about is data privacy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
ChatGPT and other AI tools collect data on how students use them,
Right.
and that raises questions about how that data is being stored, used, and protected.
Absolutely.
That's something I hadn't even considered. What happens to all that information ChatGPT gathers about a student's learning patterns,
Hmm.
their strengths and weaknesses? Is it being used to personalize their learning in a way that truly benefits them, or could it be used for other purposes that might not be in their best interest?
Those are exactly the right questions to be asking. And it's not just about protecting students' privacy, but also about making sure that these AI tools are being used responsibly and ethically.
It sounds like there's a lot to unpack here. It's not as simple as just throwing AI into classrooms and hoping for the best. We need to have thoughtful discussions about how to integrate these tools in a way that benefits all students while safeguarding their privacy and ensuring equitable access.
Absolutely. We can't just assume that AI will magically fix all of education's problems. We need to be critical and ask tough questions about the potential downsides as well as the benefits.
It's like that whole debate about calculators in schools.
Right.
Some people were worried that they would make kids lazy and keep them from learning basic math.
Eh,
But really, calculators freed up mental space for more complex problem solving.
that's a great analogy. Technology should be a tool that helps us, not limits us. And that means we need to carefully think about how we use it in education. We don't want AI to replace teachers or stifle students' creativity. We want it to make learning better and help students reach their full potential.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where AI works with human instruction and helps both teachers and students achieve more together.
Exactly.
And that brings up another big consideration, the future of teaching.
Yeah.
If AI can personalize learning and provide instant feedback, what does that mean for the role of the teacher?
Right.
Will teachers become obsolete, or will their role just change?
That's a big question, and one that a lot of teachers are probably thinking about right now. It's both exciting and a little scary to think about how AI might change education as we know it. It's definitely a time of big change and uncertainty. But I believe that AI has the potential to make teaching even more rewarding and impactful. By taking over some of the more routine tasks like grading or providing basic explanations, AI can free up teachers to focus on what they do best, like building relationships, mentoring students, and fostering their love of learning.
I love that perspective. It's not AI versus teachers. It's AI and teachers working together to create a more engaging and effective learning experience for all students.
Yeah,
And that kind of collaboration means teachers need to learn new skills and adapt to new ways of teaching.
for sure.
It's not about being replaced by robots. It's about learning how to use these new tools to become even better educators.
Right.
So in a way, AI could actually elevate the teaching profession by allowing teachers to focus on the more human aspects of education. The things that machines just can't replicate.
That's the hope. And it's important to remember that while AI can process information and give feedback, it can't replace the human connection that is so essential to learning.
Yeah.
Teachers provide emotional support, encouragement, and inspiration, things that AI just can't do.
That's so true. We learn best when we feel connected, supported, and inspired. And that's where teachers truly shine. They bring a human element to education that no machine can match.
Absolutely. And as AI gets more advanced, I think that human connection will become even more valuable in education.
That's like the more we rely on technology, the more we crave those real human interactions.
Exactly. We need to make sure that as we integrate AI into education, we don't forget the importance of human connection, empathy, and the joy of learning.
It sounds like we're entering a really fascinating and potentially transformative era in education, one where AI and human intelligence can work together to create something truly remarkable.
I agree. It's an exciting time to be involved in education, and it's crucial that we approach these advancements with both enthusiasm and a healthy dose of caution.
So it's about finding that balance between embracing the possibilities and addressing the challenges.
Exactly.
Right? It feels like this paper has really shown us what AI could do in education,
Yeah,
but it's also shown us how complicated it is
for sure.
and the responsibilities that come with it.
Definitely. It's not just about the tech itself, it's about how we use it
Right.
and what kind of impact it has on students, teachers, and society as a whole.
It's like we're at crossroads,
Yeah.
with all these different paths ahead, and we need to think carefully about which way we want to go.
Exactly. And I think the key is to approach all this with like a sense of curiosity,
Uh-huh.
humility, and a willingness to learn from our successes and, our mistakes.
It reminds me of that saying, technology is a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
Exactly.
It's up to us to shape how it develops
Mm-hmm.
and make sure it's actually serving humanity.
Couldn't agree more. And that takes ongoing dialogue, collaboration, and a commitment to putting students' well-being first in everything we do.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
Mm-hmm. I think the most important thing to remember is that AI has the potential to totally change education.
Yeah.
But it's not a magic solution. It's not going to magically solve all our problems or replace teachers completely.
Right.
It's a tool that can enhance learning, empower educators, and create new possibilities.
Right.
But it's on us to use it wisely and ethically.
That's a powerful message.
Yeah.
And I think everyone needs to hear that as we navigate this new world.
Absolutely. We need to approach AI in education with both optimism and caution, Excited about what it can do, but also aware of the risks and challenges.
Finding that balance between innovation and responsibility, between pushing boundaries and making sure we're doing it in a way that benefits all learners.
And that's a conversation that needs to keep happening.
Yeah.
It needs input from educators, researchers, policymakers, parents, and students themselves.
It's a group effort to shape the future of learning and make sure AI is being used to create a more equitable and empowering experience for everyone.
I'm optimistic that if we work together and put students first, we can use the power of AI to create a better future for education.
That's a great thought to end on. And to our listeners, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on AI in education? What are you excited about? What are your concerns? Share your thoughts on our website or social media channels. We're all in this together, and the future of learning depends on all of us. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI and education. It's like we were saying before, it's not as simple as just throwing AI into the classroom and hoping for the best.
No, not at all.
We need to be thoughtful about how we integrate these tools.
Absolutely.
Make sure they benefit all students.
Right.
Protect their privacy and ensure equitable access.
Yeah, it's a lot to consider.
It is. It reminds me of that debate we had about calculators in schools.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Some people thought they would make kids lazy,
Uh-huh.
prevent them from learning basic math. But, calculators actually freed up mental space for more complex problem solving.
That's a great point. Technology should help us think better, not limit our thinking.
Right.
And that means we need to be careful about how we use it in education. We don't want AI to replace teachers or stifle creativity.
Exactly.
We want it to help students reach their full potential.
So it's about finding that balance, where AI complements human instruction, empowers both teachers and students to achieve more together.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another important consideration, the future of teaching.
Right. If AI can personalize learning and provide instant feedback, what happens to the teacher?
It's a big question, and I'm sure a lot of teachers are wondering about that.
Do they become obsolete?
Right.
Or does their role just evolve?
It's definitely a time of change and uncertainty, but I think AI could actually make teaching more rewarding and impactful.
How so?
Well, by taking over some of the more routine tasks, like grading or providing basic explanations, AI can free up teachers to focus on what they do best, building relationships, mentoring students, fostering a love of learning.
I like that. It's not AI versus teachers.
Right.
It's AI and teachers working together to create a better learning experience for everyone.
Exactly. And that collaboration will require teachers to develop new skills and adapt to new ways of teaching.
So it's not about being replaced by robots.
No.
It's about learning how to use these new tools to become even better educators.
Right.
I like that AI could actually elevate the teaching profession,
Yeah.
allow teachers to focus on the human aspects of education, the things that machines can't replicate.
That's the hope. And it's important to remember that AI can process information and provide feedback, but it can't replace that human connection that's so vital to learning.
Definitely.
Teachers provide emotional support, encouragement, inspiration, things that AI just can't do.
That's so true. We learn best when we feel connected, supported, inspired. And that's what teachers are great at. They bring a human element to education that no machine can match.
Absolutely. And as AI continues to advance, I think that human connection will become even more valuable.
It seems like the more we rely on technology, the more we crave those authentic human interactions.
Exactly. As we integrate AI into education, we can't lose sight of the importance of human connection, empathy, and the joy of learning.
It sounds like we're entering a really exciting time in education,
It is.
one where AI and human intelligence can work together to create something truly remarkable.
It's an exciting time to be involved in education. We need to approach these advancements with enthusiasm, but also with a healthy dose of caution.
So finding that balance again.
Yes, balance is key, embracing the possibilities while also addressing the challenges.
Well, this has been a fascinating conversation. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of this topic.
There's so much more to explore.
To our listeners, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the role of AI in education. What excites you? What concerns you? Share your perspectives with us on our website or social media. We're all in this together, and the future of learning depends on our collective wisdom and actions. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI in education.